Alright, what's up? Alright. What's up? From what I have gathered, Screw Attack decided to do Optimus Prime vs. Gundam. Well, first off, I'm gonna go on record and say this. This is my first ever reaction video. Alright, I have never done this before, and I have no idea what I'm doing. But what I want to do is, I want to get a grasp on, well, what the fuck I am doing. So, just bear with me on this, and if this whole reaction thing doesn't work out for me, then I'll just stop doing it. Alright? But I want to have a feel for, doing this sort of thing. Also, I want to do something with my channel. Alright, so, bear with me.
Check out 23andMe, a DNA testing service that can offer insight into your ancestry, health, wellness, and traits. The 23andMe Health and Ancestry Service includes reports on how your DNA can influence your weight, sleep quality, sense of taste, and more. It's super easy to do. You just spit into the tube and mail it back to their lab to be analyzed. I learned a lot about my family tree, and I'm probably a little lactose intolerant. Order your 23andMe Health and Ancestry Service Kit at 23andme.com/deathbattle. That's the number 23andme.com/deathbattle.
So this pretty much determines who you will be in real life.
Across this vast world of different nations with different people, it is the clash of opinions which truly divides us. However, there is one universal truth which absolutely everyone can agree on.
Giant robots are freaking awesome! Like Optimus Prime, the original G1 Transformer.
And the RX-78-2, the original Mobile Suit Gundam.
These aren't just any robots, they're the old school classics, the first of their kind, and we're in for a robo battle of East versus West.
Well, Optimus was originally a Japanese toy.
He's Wiz and I'm Boomstick.
And it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win a death battle. Millions of years ago, on a distant planet called Cybertron, a great unrest grew between two factions of robotic beings, the Decepticons and the Autobots. With little warning, they found themselves entangled in civil war.
Led by that douchebag Megatron, the Decepticons started gunning down any bot they pleased for basically no reason, including some guy named Orion Pax, which will be important later. Rest in peace, Robro.
What Megatron didn't know was that this seemingly random encounter would end up reshaping the universe.
Thanks to a robot Gandalf, Orion Pax was rebuilt into something bigger, stronger, and way more recognizable.
The newest commander of the Autobots had risen, Optimus Prime.
The Autobots will never sacrifice freedom.
Optimus is a powerful warrior with tons of awesome robo-powers.
As a Transformer, he can scan nearby objects and morph his body to resemble one.
Before I continue, has died 26 times throughout the whole Transformers franchise. That is true. And the one that did that research was Diamond Bolt. He did a whole, the Pit series, and he started with Optimus Prime. And that particular number is accurate. The other skills, surfing, basketball, that's because of G1. However, what they also should have added, dislikes Michael Bay's Transformers. They should have put that.
A robot in disguise.
His favorite is a classic 1979 Kenworth K100 tractor. An oldie but a goodie which sports 500 horsepower and can book it over 80 miles per hour. He even gets a trailer which, when he doesn't need it, mysteriously disappears into thin air. No, really, where the hell does that thing go? I need to know.
More importantly, the life force of every Transformer resides in their spark, sort of like a soul. And Optimus is no different, except that his spark gives him a few unique abilities.
Yeah, his spark's pretty rare. Compared to other robo-people, it gives him increased strength, speed, and durability. He can shoot laser beams from his hands, fly with either a jetpack or his feet boosters, and move his limbs around while they're detached like some sort of ghost robot Rayman.
Courtesy of City of Steel.
Optimus is referred to as a 0.1%er. That is how rare a being of his caliber is.
Is that what all those people on Wall Street were protesting?
Even then, many of Optimus's abilities are further enhanced thanks to his possession of one of the most powerful artifacts in Cybertron's history, the Matrix of Leadership.
Oh, yeah, you know, it's nothing much. It's just a piece of robot god!
The Matrix is a conduit for the power of Primus, the creator of the Transformer race. With this, Optimus can heal some of his most grievous wounds.
What? Not all the time. Like, you know, when he died.
And use the
That is kind of a gray area. What the Matrix does is that it doesn't necessarily give him a healing factor. What it does is that it grants him the accumulative wisdom of the former Autobot commanders who led the Autobots before him. You know, the previous primes. It just grants him the accumulative wisdom of the primes. It doesn't exactly make him, you know, better and stronger. Optimus Prime is just a vessel for the fragments of Primus.
power of the Matrix to light our darkest hour.
Well, he has an impressive arsenal to hopefully keep that particular problem from coming up again.
No,
Yeah,
because the Prime Wars
never
trilogy would
again.
like to have a
Regardless, he wields the Ion Blaster, a giant death cannon which Prime one-hands like a boss. This big old rifle fires bolts of energy strong enough to take down most Decepticons, and can even be fired into space from ground level. Even better, it never seems to run out of ammo. Ah, one can only dream.
Optimus Prime also carries numerous weapons composed of Energon, a raw energy force used by Transformers to power their technology and, well, themselves.
He's got a glowy Energon axe and Energon swords, perfect for slicing up robots of all sizes. And I guess they'd probably work pretty good on people, too.
Fighting fire with fire, Optimus Prime led the fight against the Decepticons for several millennia. Eventually, the war even found its way to our own Earth.
But we've got nothing to worry about with Optimus protecting the planet. He's tanked blasts that would tear other bots apart, like when this mega refinery exploded. It could be seen from outer space. He's punched the ground so hard, the trees around him freaking exploded.
Child's play, Boomstick. He's strong enough to tip this large oil tanker, which, when compared to the real-life Sea-Wise giant, must weigh over 700,000 tons.
He's tossed a satellite into orbit and punched hard enough to crack Six Shot's chest plate.
Who boasted that his armor was drawn from the compacted subatomic matter of a collapsed star. Just to let you know, such a star would have a density of over 300 billion tons per cubic inch. While great density doesn't necessarily beget great toughness, this still means Six Shot's armor was 500 billion times more dense than osmium, the most dense natural material on Earth.
You're the most dense natural material on Earth.
What'd you say?
And our Robo-Commander wrecked it. He's fast enough to catch up to this Decepticon space shuttle in just 23 seconds.
Given the size of the Earth here and the angle of ascent, we can determine he's moving around 125,000 miles per hour. He's also a talented leader, capable of commanding 1,000 battles at the same time via the Omniglobe.
Like Skynet, but in a giant disco ball. He's used that crazy strength of his to punch through Megatron, who once tanked an explosion big enough to knock Cybertron out of orbit. And thanks to the weird robo-magic of the Matrix, he's even defeated
Unicron,
who's basically a giant robot Satan who eats planets. This guy is unstoppable.
Not necessarily. Optimus is certainly powerful, but after all is said and done, he has one major weakness.
To violate that law would destroy our honor.
He's just too nice.
Yeah, he's kinda all about the whole honor and fair fighting thing, which kinda screwed him over more than once, and even gotten him killed multiple times. Plus, he killed himself once just because he accidentally broke the rules in a frickin' game. Damn.
But when his back is to the wall and all hell's breaking loose, he'll fight to the end, riding the eye of the storm.
One shall stand, one shall fall.
Okay, I'm gonna at least explain Optimus Prime's, personality a little bit. It's true that Optimus Prime is nice, but he was specifically written to be a role model, someone to look up to, an iconic hero. Hell, when Peter Cullen auditioned to voice Optimus Prime, he based the personal traits of Optimus Prime on his brother, Larry Cullen, whom Peter idolized because he was a war hero. And the very words that Larry told Peter when he went to audition for Optimus Prime, I may paraphrase, but I'll try to word it as best as I can. It's like, Peter, don't try sounding like one of those fake macho Hollywood heroes. Be a real hero. And that's what Peter puts in voicing Optimus Prime. He wanted Optimus Prime to be a role model, a father figure, someone to look up to, and someone to idolize. Hell, when Optimus talks to humans, he doesn't look down upon them. He kneels because he believes that freedom is the right of all sentient beings. He respects life, period. It's a weakness, that is true, that anyone can exploit, but that's what makes Optimus Prime who he is. He's an icon. He's a role model. He's a father figure. He's someone to look up to when things are at their most darkest. He's inspirational. He's patriotic. Optimus Prime is the very embodiment of America. Hell, his color scheme is red, white, and blue. That's why.
In the year 2179, humanity has embraced the stars.
Well, mostly.
Right. After a somewhat united humanity expanded across the solar system, the ideologies between those on Earth and those in space began to drift apart. A new space-noid republic, the Principality of Zeon, arose to challenge the Earth Federation.
Space Noid? That like the Domino's pizza mascot, but in space?
No, more like space Nazis.
Yeah, back then there was
Well, I
zero
guess it's no
plus
surprise that
PC.
they started a war by gassing a populated space colony and dropping the whole thing on the planet. Man, that's messed up. But that's just how it started. For the real star of the show, some smart guys put their heads together and came up with the coolest thing they could think of. Giant fighting robots!
These were mobile suits, and one of Earth's nuttier engineers had developed a suit which would put all others to shame. This was the RX-78-2, otherwise known as the Gundam.
There is a real-life mobile suits.
There have been lots of mobile suits named
Real-life mobile
Gundam,
suit?
but this was the
There's one
original
named
granddaddy of them all.
This experimental mobile suit was hidden on a remote colony, but before its maiden voyage with the equally classified White Base could begin, it was caught in a surprise Zeon attack.
With just 2 Zaku suits, the space Nazis wiped out almost all of the White Base's military crew. The only people left to save these secret projects were civilians, who had no idea these things even existed.
Among those who rose up was a young boy named AMURO Ray. Brilliant, albeit standoffish, AMURO was actually the son of the Gundam's chief engineer, and had already stumbled upon the mech's coded blueprints.
So he
just
grabbed
kinda
the
Jack
owner's
the Ripper.
manual, jumped in the Gundam, and flew into the fight. Damn, not too shabby for going off just the manual.
AMURO quickly adapted to its complex controls thanks to its learning computer system, designed so the Gundam itself can learn its pilot's limitations and compensate.
Its body is made of a super durable Luna titanium alloy called Gundarium. Of course.
Yet another fictional metal that's way better than anything in real life.
For weapons, it's got twin
there wasn't
60mm
much
Vulcan
creativity
guns for ears. It's got a shield that can block shots strong enough to take down warships, and a gravity hammer, a supersized flail that's rocket propelled. Whoever came up with that is my goddamn hero. Same with the guy who built the ultra-destructive beam rifle.
That would be the ingenious Dr. Minovsky. Thanks to him, the beam rifle is a marvelous feat of weapons engineering. Minovsky had developed a way to miniaturize the enormous megaparticle cannons found on warships without losing any power.
The result is a
So,
Gundam-sized
that would-
rifle that can take down entire fleets of ships all on its own. It's like having a pistol with all the power of 1,000 tanks.
A single shot could easily tear through a 13,000-ton Musai-class warship. Given the official stats of this ship, to tear it asunder like so would require a strike worth nearly 9,000 tons of TNT.
Sure, the beam rifle only has 16 shots, but who really cares when you just need one?
Last but not least, the Gundam carries 2 retractable beam sabers.
Cause you can't have space battles without royalty-free lightsabers.
But all these amazing weapons would be useless without an exceptional pilot. Despite still technically being a civilian, AMURO became the main pilot for the Gundam. Turns out, his skill was mostly thanks to his previously unknown abilities. AMURO was a new type.
Like, Pokemon?
See, apparently humankind was never meant to live under gravity's pull. In space, without it literally weighing down their souls, some humans developed psychic powers.
That is the dumbest backstory for why someone gets powers, and we've heard a lot of them, Wiz. So what, he can like read minds or something?
Sort of. These powers and their capabilities have little definition, often differing between different people. Most new types can instantly understand each other upon contact, even drawing kinship between sworn enemies. AMURO's abilities in particular grant him something akin to precognition. He can predict exactly what will happen on the battlefield and where his enemies will be, and can capitalize on it if he reacts fast enough.
How could he possibly predict I'd attack from the other side?
He shot down targets too fast for the eye to see and navigated his friends through a collapsing fortress with no casualties. By the end of the war, his own reflexes were pushing the limits of the Gundam itself.
A magnetic coating was added to the Gundam to compensate, reducing the suit's friction and increasing its speed by 27%.
Over 14 years of military service, AMURO became a legendary pilot. He even learned how to use these super fast funnel guns with his Psycho powers.
Speaking of speed, the Gundam is comparable to the red Zaku piloted by AMURO's rival Char, which is 3 times faster than the standard green model.
During the first large-scale battle with mobile suits, a Zaku flew through the battlefield in 7 seconds.
By comparing the 1,072-foot-long Magellan-class starships in the distance, we can tell the Zaku flew over 7 miles. This puts the standard Zaku's top speed just under Mach 5. When tripled to compare to Char, this means the Gundam can move at least 11,000 miles per hour, 15 times the speed of sound. Highballing it with AMURO's new type powers and magnetic coating, it's possible the Gundam can move as fast as Mach 25. Though anything over that would put it dangerously close to re-entry speeds, which its chassis cannot survive on its own.
The Gundam is strong enough to lift and throw this goofy mobile suit, and tough enough to power through a magnetic field that's 7,200 degrees Fahrenheit. It survived plenty of really big explosions, including a detonating asteroid and a nuclear blast which wrecked AMURO's home colony. I bet it could wipe out the space Nazis all on its own.
It nearly did. AMURO and his Gundam were instrumental to the war effort. It doesn't matter how much the Gundam was burned. It would always stand up, dispel the fear, and fly.
Okay, first off, I'm gonna go on record. In the episode Dark Awakening, when Optimus Prime was revived, and he ordered all the Autobots to return to Cybertron, there was a certain trap that the Quintessons set up in order to vaporize all the Autobots. But when Optimus Prime regained his consciousness, that was when he issued the order, and he collided with the asteroid that contained explosives that were supposed to vaporize everyone. And would you like to know what happened? He survived.
All right, the combatants are set. Let's end this debate once and for all.
But first, let me transform your eating habits.
By now, you've probably heard of Blue Apron, the leading meal kit delivery service in the US.
What did you know about it? But right now, it's time for a death battle!
Yeah, supposedly this
AMURO, come in! Where are you?
I'm checking something out, Sayla. It's more than meets the eye.
Get your butt back to White Base. If there's trouble, we can't send backup.
Let's roll. Decepticon, I have been in battle for countless eons. Not today.
Only one shot left.
This song is awesome.
I hate gravity. Not bad. I'm just bad.
I must stand, so you shall fall.
He's got the touch! He's got the power!
The Gundam was an impressive machine, and AMURO was a skilled pilot, but Optimus's millions of years of battle experience completely overshadowed AMURO's 14. Also, we already know that Optimus was over 6 times faster and 9,000 times stronger.
Holy hell! Who knew Optimus was so freaking buff? But the Gundam held plenty of its own advantages. With AMURO's super future sense powers, he could keep up with Optimus's speed. And with the Gundam's firepower, who cares how much it could lift?
Unfortunately, the Gundam's limited ammunition meant this couldn't last. And even then, Optimus could certainly survive a shot from the beam rifle.
Remember that refinery explosion Optimus survived? The one you could see from outer space?
This blast left an enormous gash on the planet Cybertron. To measure the power of this explosion, we needed to compare it to the curve of the planet. Now, Cybertron's size is pretty inconsistent throughout G1 Transformers history, but even when using the alternating sizes between the cartoon and the comics, the blast is far more destructive than the beam rifle in both cases.
And Optimus just walked right out of that bitch. And this isn't some weird outlier just out of the comics either. In the cartoon, Megatron survived a blast that pushed Cybertron out of orbit. And he's pretty comparable to Optimus.
To be fair, the Gundam boasted some impressive durability feats too.
Like when AMURO accidentally blew up a Zaku's nuclear reactor right in his own face. Hey, give him a break. It was his first time.
This explosion created a hole in the space colony which sucked out AMURO's father.
Whoops. On the bright side, he's gonna save some money on Father's Day gifts, right?
And with his heightened mind, we deduced the scope of the explosion.
It's over 150,000 kilotons of TNT. That's 10,000 times more powerful than the bomb that dropped on Hiroshima, but still nowhere close to the refinery explosion Optimus survived.
Also, the Gundam couldn't dodge Optimus's ion blaster forever. It was fast enough to strike targets in orbit from ground level. That puts its laser speed over 3 million miles per hour.
Even when he knew it was coming, AMURO couldn't react quick enough to dodge or block anything that fast. And even then, Optimus's time in the Omni-Globe proves he can think way faster than AMURO.
And just to blow your mind even more, in order to obliterate Unicron with the Matrix, the energy output must have equaled more than 40 yotatons of TNT.
Like the Star Wars guy? And you know what they say, size matters not, especially when Optimus has defeated opponents as big as Devastator.
The Gundam was a powerful mobile suit with some astonishing firepower, but was ultimately outmatched by the Autobot's strength, speed, durability, and experience.
I'd say Optimus was primed for this fight.
The winner is Optimus Prime.
Hands down, and there was never...
Thanks for watching, guys. If you want to see the exclusive commentary on this episode, just click that little box over there.
Okay, first off... whoever they got... Let's see. I gotta catch it.
Thanks for watching, guys. If you want to see the exclusive...
Okay. Alright. Okay, now this is happening. Okay. First off, I'm glad that I watched the fight. Hands down, okay? This is awesome. Especially with the Unreal Engine. That's what I heard. And the Unreal Engine used for animation, it's not bad, but the thing is that it's still experimental. In my opinion, they should have stuck with 3ds Max or Maya, because, you know, the Unreal Engine, if there was anything that I did learn from Reboot the Guardian Code, the first ever cartoon, or I guess show, to use the Unreal Engine for animations, it's still a work in progress, as in you need to be skilled in order to be able to use it and make it look good. Just using the Unreal Engine for animation, it's alright, but it's still not going to look good. Alright, so that right there is one flaw. Second, whoever they got to voice Optimus Prime, Richard Barcenas, he did okay. Alright, he did okay. Alright, hands down. But the thing is, he still did not capture, you know, that, or grasp that particular voice that Optimus Prime has. Especially his signature yell from Transformers Prime. He should have done that. That would have, you know, saved him. But no, he didn't do that. And to be fair, it's difficult to capture that. Alright, especially if your voice tears from the growls and the yells. But that's the reason why, you know, just practice. And, you know, another good suggestion, okay, you know, please do not hate me for this. John Bailey would have been a good alternative, since it's practically his lifelong dream to voice Optimus Prime. Hell, he was brought in to voice Optimus Prime for Combiner Wars, and he didn't do bad, but there's a reason why Peter Cullen is the most iconic person to voice Optimus Prime. No one else can do it. Gary Chalk, what Gary Chalk did, he just recycled his Optimus Primal voice, but you know, that's okay as well. David Kaye's Optimus Prime voice was somewhat unique, and it worked. And Neil Kaplan is still good as well. Alright, but the thing is that when you get someone else to voice Optimus Prime, there are some cases where it will work and where it may not. A good rule of thumb, you don't have to necessarily deepen your voice. Just talk like yourself as an experimentation, and then, you know, continue from there. Like, for example, I can voice Optimus Prime. You underestimate me. I have been fighting wars for 9 million years. Ah! 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 I cannot fall. It's time for you to go. You know, something like that. Alright, and also, interesting fact, Robert Belgrade, he voiced Optimus Prime. It was for that PlayStation 2 video game. And his take, it was alright, but listening to it now, that's the reason why Robert Belgrade is still known as a good Alucard voice. In fact, he's the best, alright, from Castlevania. Robert Belgrade is hands down perfect as Alucard, but him voicing Optimus Prime, no way. Alright, there are some people that can voice certain characters, but then there are some people that just can't. Alright, I'm just gonna leave it at that. Alright, what you guys do with, well, my opinion is up to you. David Matranga, David Matragna, okay, David Matranga, there you go. He was alright. Alright, David did good voicing AMURO. Lindsay Jones, she was just there, but she did good as well. Okay, for Richard Barcenas, there is room for improvements, alright? Alright, I know that you can do better. That is true. Okay? And I really hope that you respect my opinion. That's it. Thank you. Now, as for the fight in general, I liked it. It was alright. And however, I will say, the way that they made the energy axe, they shouldn't have made it. They shouldn't have given it a handle. Remember, Optimus Prime wields it as an extension of his arm, meaning that, you know, he's not only swinging the axe, but alternatively, he's also swinging his arm as well. So they shouldn't have made it a handle. It didn't felt right. It was best as you know, like an arm extension, you know, an appendage, something like that. Alright, so overall, I am glad that I did watch this fight. Alright, these two did their research really well, and you know, I am impressed. Hell, I want to try doing this. Alright, who knows? Let's see what happens. Anyway, this is Master Junior 93. I guess I can say signing off. Like I said, this is my first ever reaction video, so I don't know what to feel. Alright. However, regardless, I am still glad that I did this, and I'm still glad that I watched this. Alright, the boys at Screw Attack did good. Alright. Hands down. Alright, you guys did good. Oh yeah, wait, hold up. Okay.